Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now, and I really appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. We all know that Biden and his administration, since day one of taking over, have played the blame game, blaming the previous administration for problems that are going on that is actually their fault. And now the White House claims anti-ATF efforts will help the cartels the American left has been accused of, essentially weaponizing the Department of Justice to go after their political enemies. None seem to have embraced the effort more than, of course, the ATF. Time and time again, we've seen the Bureau cross the line with regard to carrying out its duties. As a result, it sparked an effort to abolish the ATF once and for all. But most likely, that's not going to happen. But it's definitely amusing to see. And now the White House is claiming Republicans want to empower the cartels. The White House is opening a new line of attack on Republicans, as former President Donald Trump demands his party to defund federal law enforcement by arguing that threatening firearm control agencies would help arm the Mexican drug cartels and traffic fentanyl into the country. Fentanyl and other drugs and people are already pouring into the United States because of open border policies. The ATF is a perennial target for gun rights supporters, risk of funding reduction or outright elimination, as House Republicans look to cut spending in government funding negotiations. Meanwhile, as President Joe Biden gears up for re-election, the White House has been trying to turn the tables on Republicans, who also accuse Democrats of being anti-police and soft on crime, by pointing out that conservatives are now the ones who want to defund the Department of Justice. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates told NBC News that Republicans are trying to thwart Biden's effort to keep guns out of the hands of violent drug traffickers. MAGA Republican extremism in Congress is a growing threat to fight violent crime and fentanyl trafficking. President Biden is working hard to prevent the flow of firearms into the hands of drug cartels. But also he's working even harder to keep guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands as part of a comprehensive strategy to block the flow of fentanyl into the United States. But hardcore MAGA members of Congress are doing everything to thwart the efforts, Bates said. Man, that's freaking rich coming from Obama's former vice president. Let's not forget he was part of the administration that concocted Operation Fast and Furious and literally instructed gun dealers to conduct questionable sales to people who then took the guns into Mexico for cartels. And if you recall, the ATF was a key part of that, to say that abolishing the ATF would make it easier for cartels when the Obama administration took pains to arm them in the first place. It seems oddly hypocritical, doesn't it? Especially since the laws surrounding firearms wouldn't change with the repeal of the ATF. They would have to be shuttled to other agencies, most likely the FBI, which we all know isn't much better. And things like NICS checks and 4473s would still be required. To claim that removing one agency, one with a significant history of doing everything wrong, every chance they get, would suddenly empower gun running is utterly ridiculous, especially in light of Biden's own resume. And frankly, Republicans need to strike back at Biden for Fast and Furious, because that's going to be a tough answer. Even if he wasn't involved, Democrats and the ATF were. And that should undermine a lot of this in a hurry. The only people that Biden and his administration need to blame is themselves. All they need to do is look into the mirror, and that is the problem. As always, I would really like to hear your thoughts about the story, and please put them in the comment section down below. And I appreciate everybody's support with the channel. You guys are always crushing it, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting those post notifications after watching the videos. And I invite everybody back to see my next video.